I'm Dr. Kongsak Tanphaichitr. Today we're going to be talking about the sutra, Darukhandha Sutta, the first one, on floating log on the Ganges River. Once the Buddha was by the Ganges River, a major river in northeastern India. He saw a log floating by, so he called on the monks, sat them down, and asked them, "Monks, did you see that log? Do you think it will reach the ocean or not?" Buddha then described this log is similar to a celibate person who is like a log floating in the water. He then asked the monks, "Bhikkhus, if a log doesn't come near this or that shore, doesn't sink in the middle, doesn't run aground, is not held up by humans or non-humans, is not caught in the whirlpools, doesn't rot inside, that log will float and flow into the ocean." So he gave the answer himself. And then he went on to explain why. Why is that? That log equates to a celibate person, just like those monks, will float and flow into the ocean. Because for as the waters of the Ganges, or the Kongka, flow gently into the ocean. Why is that? Because right view, which is part of the middle path, Noble Eightfold Path, right view, right thought, so the first one on the right. Because right view tends to lead to Nirvana, ultimate peace and happiness, in the same way. So when it got caught in this bank and that bank, what does it mean by that? The word decide is name of the 6 internal senses, which basically mean eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. When you got caught with your sense of your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, body, and mind, and got stuck there. Or got caught on the other side, the other riverbank. It's the name of the 6 external senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, which are the 5 sensual desires and thoughts. You're in the dreamy thoughts, or good thoughts, happy thoughts, and so on. You got caught there as well. The word immerse in the middle, which means like the wood the log start get rotten inside, is the name of the Nandiraka, which basically lust and pleasure. When you involve in that, it sinks the log. The word ran ashore is the name of Asmimana, which means self-conceit or your ego. Make this log run ashore, couldn't go any further. Or being caught by human. You see. Among this discipline, associate with and enjoy and grieves with householders. Whenever they are happy, he's also happy. Whenever they are sad, he's also sad. He's engaged in the affairs that have arisen in him. This is called a person who was grasped by human, caught by non-human. What does it mean? Some monks in this Dharma discipline practice celibacy, wishing to become a deva or a god by virtue, conduct, asceticism, and celibacy. This is called being captured by non-human. What it means by the word swirl or whirlpool is the name of the 5 sensual pleasures, which are sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. Those external sense that you lure into and got stuck with them. What is the rotten inside? So monks in this Dhamma Vinaya, which the Buddha called Buddhism in those days, our bad morality, have filthy, unclean qualities, have loathsome conduct, have concealed work, are not monks, but they profess to be a monk. They're not celibate, but profess to be celibate, are rotten within, have minds soaked in sensual desire, are like waste. This is called being rotten inside. You will sink to the bottom of the river. So how does it, the mechanism of how it works is on pure versus bias contact, feeling, and perception, which the Buddha described in the 4 foundations of mindfulness, and has been confirmed in the way of the neuroscience, see the similar thing as the Buddha described 2,600 years ago. Buddha sees that we perceive through our 6 sense organ, or salayatana, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, in contact with sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and thoughts, and with corresponding specific consciousness, like eye consciousness when you see sights, ear consciousness when you hear sounds, nasal consciousness when you smell, tongue consciousness when you taste, body consciousness with the touch, and mental consciousness with the thoughts. This happens when it comes in contact through your sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and thoughts, through your eyes, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. You have a specific feeling of happiness and unhappiness, or neutral feelings, comfort, discomfort, happiness, unhappiness, or neutral feelings. Physically and mentally, you feel it that way. And perceive it with pure perception called sanya. But then come bias perception, or sanya cetana. This is an important step because pure perception becomes biased according to your wish, your desire, and undesirable nature that arise at your body, feeling, mind, and mental phenomena. It consequently result in craving, or tanha, which is the cause of suffering, with sensual desire, liking and disliking, or the second noble truth. You'll be run into disturbing thoughts, vitaka, and obsessive thought, viraka. So this creates a self-image hologram, or eye tag. Self-concept arose from biased perception. If the eye tag, your label is as yours. Neuroscientists also say in parallel with generating mental patterns for an object, the brain also generates a sense of self in the act of knowing. Professor Antonio Damasio is a head of neurology at University of Iowa at that time. Subsequently, he moved to USC to direct large brain center over there. But it's not quite correct completely because it's not parallel, it's sequential because pure perception become, the Buddha see it as pure perception become biased perception, which result in craving or cause of suffering, a second noble truth. Craving with sensual desire, liking and disliking. With mindful awareness, you'll be able to stop it at pure perception, without bias, without ego, without lust and pleasure. Mindful awareness will stop it at pure perception, without biased perception, like a feedback loop, and you see things, they're 5 times stronger than the input. So that's how easily your mind being lured into a self-concept hologram, a self-image hologram. So when you're mindful aware of every perception, you end up with no suffering, pure perception. So that's Nirvana, the third noble truth, end of suffering. Through middle path, through mindful awareness, middle path of your practice, the fourth noble truth. So a life form or person consists of 5 aspects, or 5 aggregates of existence. And we cling as self, as the first noble truth, that causes our suffering from clinging to the self, becomes self-concept hologram. And everything you see is biased in that sense. So there are body, a form, including sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, thoughts, feeling, perception, thought formations. Feeling, perception, thought formations are mental activities, which is basically it's the action of your mind, consciousness, which is formless, but leaving a track, a trace behind as feeling, perception, thought formation, that you can track them down and see how it conditioned your mind. So that's the way we meditate on those, to reverse engineer to see the true nature of your mind, equanimous mind, neutral mind, unbiased mind. So when we expose to external environment, to sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and even internal thoughts, they're endearing and pleasing, pleasurable. So you get stuck and lured into clinging to it. Endearing and pleasing nature of 6 sense spheres, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and thoughts. If you perceive it purely with pure perception, it is out in perceptual processing with pure Vedana of feeling, and Sanya, pure perception, without bias. You perceive things actively and neutrally because you're always mindfully aware of things around you. It's a pure perception in that sense. So it will not result in craving, or if it arises, it will be released and ends there without craving. So no cause of suffering. But you lack of mindful awareness, you perceive things with conceptual processing. You see everything as luring you into sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and thought. And it becomes desirable or undesirable. With Sanya Chetana, so it's biased perception. So you perceive passively and biasedly, a sankhara, with thought formation or fabrication, thought conditioning, so which result in craving, arises and sustained as a cause of suffering, the second noble truth. Craving with sensual desire, liking and disliking. So the goal is to practice mindful awareness through 4 foundations of mindfulness, so that you stop at pure perception, seeing the true nature of things as they really are, not cling to it. You live your life without clinging to any phenomena. Your mind will be pure, calm, and peaceful, not be lured into the conceptual processing. You live in the true ultimate world, not in the conceptual world, free of suffering in that way.